The market sells off following our preferred path. How much more pain is there? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so in our last video, I talked about the fact that my preferred path was that we dip lower in a deeper B wave and then head higher in C toward the 5,600, 5,800 area. And so far, the market is trying to follow that path. Yesterday, we saw the market sell off. And now the question is, how much more pain is there? I'll get into that in just 1 second. But before we get into that, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, as always, we will jump in and check the results of the indicator. Another great day there. But before we do, we have a new product to announce. A lot of you expressed interest in this, so I wanted to get it out there. We have our daily call that I do every day. It's about a 60-minute live call where I go through the ES in depth, the NQ, RTY, Dow Jones Transports, the banks, the Mag 7, gold, Bitcoin, silver, and then any stocks you guys bring to the table and any questions you have. I will stay on and do all of them. And if you want to be a part of that, you don't have to join my room, but if you want to check it out, there's a link down in the description. Click that link. It'll take you over to our website. And once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We're right here now. If you scroll down below the monthly rooms, you'll see daily live calls. You can simply get it for $5. For 1 day to check it out and see if you like it. The more accurate way to do it, or the cheaper, I should say, way to do it is just to get a monthly membership. However, if you just want to check it out and see what it's all about, you can pay $5 for that. Or if you want to get 1 week of live calls and get 5 live calls at a little bit of a discount, you can get 5 for $20. So check that out if you're interested. Again, that starts at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time every single day, lasts about an hour, and you can sign up for it here. Now, let's jump into the charts and take a look at our indicator results. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 5-minute SPY chart, and that is what we use to day trade on. Now, this indicator, we built it ourselves. If you're new here, it's a custom indicator. It's called IWJ Pivot Point Pro. You can't get access to it until you purchase it. You do need a TradingView account to use it. It's only in TradingView, and when you use it, you do need to have your pre-market and post-market data turned on. You can see I have it here on the left in yellow and on the right in blue. You do need a paid TradingView account, and you need real-time data for the ES and the NQ. I explain how to do all of that in the instructions once you get the indicator. Also, if you don't have a TradingView account, I do have a link. Once you buy the indicator, there's a link on the instructions webpage that will allow you to get a TradingView account at a discount, so you can check that out as well. Now, the indicator is really simple, guys. It is a price action, forward-looking indicator, unlike BS indicators that look back at moving average crosses or some other data point that takes forever to come through, and then by the time it gives you the indication, it's too late. Ours is called Pivot Point Pro because we catch the pivots in the market, the intermediate tops and bottoms, and we trade off of them. You're going to see it here in just a second. And what you see on my chart here, if I show you my indicators, you can see IWJ Pivot Point Pro right here. I turn it off and on. You see the buys and sells appear and disappear, so that you know that they are on the chart based on the indicator. And what we got right out of the gate, guys, a very simple buy signal. You buy the market, and we win a little trade here. This was a small winner, but that's how it works. The small winners outweigh your stops, and the big winners are profit, and that's why we make money. I'll show you in just a second how much and how this works. So we get a buy signal, winner, winner, chicken dinner. They come down, they give us a buy signal. This one stops out, no bueno. We get another buy signal right here. Boom, huge run up. Very big winner. Good job on that trade. Indicator nailed the bottom. It nailed the top. Big rundown right here. Incredible trade again. Another great day. And then this last buy signal came in after 10 o'clock. So our rules are we only trade until 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time or 1 o'clock Eastern because the second half of the day tends to be choppy. In this case, it was actually straight down, but tends to be choppy in most cases. You want to do most of your day trading in the morning when the volume comes in and the big moves happen, and the day trade indicator catches that so well. It also works for swing trading. It crushes on that. I've shown tons of charts. We've done it on Apple. We've done it on Amazon, Bitcoin, NVIDIA, you name it. We've done it. It crushes. Guys, I want you to be a part of this. This is helping hundreds of traders beat the market. And if you're honest with yourself and you aren't beating the market, this will help you do that. It's helping hundreds of guys. You can see on the screen, guys are making enough money that they want to take a couple weeks off and go golfing, that they call it a cheat code, that they're finally making money in the market after trying so hard because it makes it so simple. There's a simple set of rules to follow. There's an indicator that tells you exactly when to buy and sell. It is the easiest way to trade the market, and I want you to be a part of it. As you can see in the first quarter, guys, I know Matt has 31,000 on here. He's one of my paid subscribers. He chronicles all this to keep up and make sure that I'm not telling any lies, which I don't, guys. I'm straightforward and honest with everybody. If you've watched my live streams, I show all of our results. I show everything on there. I'm wide open. But Matt wanted me to upgrade to 30 contracts. I stayed at 25. 29% in the first quarter on a 100K account, guys. That's pretty freaking amazing. Last year, we made 35% on a 100K account for the year. That's pretty freaking amazing. So if you can find better than 29% in a quarter or 35% in a year, please do so. But if not, come check us out because there is a 30-day money-back guarantee. Here's how you get it. There's a link down in the description. Same link as the other one. Click it. It'll take you to the website that we were just on. Scroll down. You'll see Trading View Indicators. It's $59 a month, $5.90 for the year. You can see I have a coupon code on the screen. If you want to use that, you can get 30% off or 25% off of your first month. Okay? They both come with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So you can get this thing, put it on your chart, and never trade so you don't lose any money. Never trade with it. Just watch it. And by the end of that month, you will be ready to trade with it all the time. Or you can paper trade with it. Do whatever you want. Or you can actually trade and make money, which is what most people do. And you'll be like the 99% of people that keep it and want to continue trading. Guys, I really want you to be a part of this. It's an absolutely incredible indicator. It's helping so many traders make money, and I want you to make money too. All right, now let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, so as I talked about yesterday and on our midday call today, my preferred path from here was for this move up over here to be the A leg. And right now, we're going to zoom out in a second. I have it on the 5-minute chart so we can kind of talk about that for a second. So this move up, this 10% move up that we had in one day to be the A, and then A, B, C back down for B, that would take us down towards 5,100 or lower. And it is projecting lower as we speak. And so this afternoon, I said we had the setup for this breakdown that we're seeing that would target about 5,270. Then we see a pretty substantial bounce back up toward this 5,400 area. There's a couple potentials here just to keep in mind. So this can just be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a big bounce before we head back down. That is possible because you do have a little tiny bounce here, but not really a true what I would call wave 4. So if you're counting this, this is 3 of 3, 4 of 3, and then the low here at 52, whatever they came down to, 5250 or so, being all of wave 3, and then a 4, 5 to complete. Now, can this little jagged here, little tiny jog up be wave 4? In theory, yes, it can. Again, I would like to see another low, even if it's just a poke low and then reversal. But they did extend here a little past the 2.0. Not surprising if you consider that they moved down to the 1382 on their first move. So, so far, bears doing what we would expect. I did tell you to expect a bounce off of this area that would come back up in 3 waves. As long as that is the case, back up into this 5,400 areas where I would expect. Then we should look for a breakdown here that takes us down towards the 5,100 to even 5,000 area to the downside before they try to head back up. So let's zoom out and look at that on a bigger scale so that we can see a little better. So overall, off of the top, we're counting this overall move down as the A leg. And then you have A, B, and C for A, and then you're looking at A, B, and C for B. That again could project down as low as 5,000, even a little lower than that, which would make sense because this first move did come up so high, you would expect a very deep retrace for B. They almost got to the target box right here. However, they failed to fully get there. So you would expect a deep retrace so that the 1.0 targets right around that gap closed around 56 or 5670 on the SPX and about 5700 or so on the ES. Lots of resistance in that box. So this 5600 to 5800 box above still dictates who's in control. Right now we're below it, so the bears are in control. They can get back above 5840. I'll consider the bulls again, and we would look at that as a potential move to all-time highs where they would break through the box, likely back test the box, and then break out to the all-time highs. 63, 6400 would be the target for that. That is not my primary path. That is the secondary path. The primary is lower. And again, I think where we're headed is probably lower first, then back up into this box. And then from here, the pullback will be really important. A 3-wave pullback is bullish. A 5-leg pullback is bearish, where you would expect this kind of move. Now, if they break down directly, is it possible that this B wave is done right here? This would be like the second alt count. So you have A, and then you have A, B, C of B, then you have 1 of C, 2 of C, and then 1 of 3 of C. You'd get a bounce in 2 of 3, and then start down. I still think this would be overall like this, a wave 1 of C, and then you get a bounce and a bigger move down after that. So it is possible that they can break directly lower from here. That is certainly a possibility. Certainly not high on my radar right now. And again, I've discussed this in my live room quite a bit. The MACD is still not there yet. So if we go to the daily MACD, and not going to be there for a little bit, it's going to take some time to heal. The MACD, again, it was oversold. The only time in history it's ever been lower than this was COVID. And COVID gave us a V-shaped recovery back to the highs. And the only other time it was even this low here was the 22 move down, which was also a massive move down. So we haven't approached any of those levels, and the MACD is way oversold, which tells you the selling was very violent. So I would expect some time for the MACD to come through here, kind of balance out, get back up into a reasonable area before we turn back down. So this move could take a little bit of time to play out overall. I don't think it's going to be necessarily a flash move. Now, can it be? Of course, we've gone lower. We went lower with COVID, but that's the only time in history we've ever done that. So it would be an anomaly for that to happen. So that would not be the expected path, but always keep those things on your radar, because it's important to know when you're wrong so that you can adjust, so you can understand where to trade from and how. All of those things are really important. Any questions on the ES and what the expectations are? Okay, let's take a look at the NASDAQ. Very, very similar paths as usual on these charts. The NASDAQ, same type of concept. We are looking at this as A down, and then A, B, C back up, you can see labeled, and then A, B, and C for B. That can take us down to, it's actually projecting pretty low here, down to around 1695. And again, given that the NASDAQ did basically get to the target area, they were about 100 points shy, a really deep retrace here makes a lot of sense. And then a C wave kind of rally back up to get everybody bullish again into this box that is a very pivotal box for the bulls and bears, dictating who's in control of the market. Currently we are below, so the bears of course are in control. And then if they can get back up here, the type of pullback from this box would be important. If they give us a 3-leg pullback, bullish, 5 legs, bearish. Again, can they melt down directly from here? Absolutely. This can be a 1-2 setup for the start of the bigger C leg down. I would like to see them go just a little bit higher to reset that MACD though. The reason these two boxes are drawn on here, this is more for the YouTube audience, not my room, but you guys are on here now. These are extreme areas. These are areas you want to trade off of. So we're in no man's land right here. Some guys were asking about trading today off of these areas. For me, it is not a great place to trade. It is more of a place to wait until they get to an extreme here. I would expect at least a bounce, if not a rally, off of these lows. And I would expect at least rejection, if not an all-out failure, off of these highs. So those are the areas I'm looking to trade off of when I see the setup. Just an FYI of why they're there. And then this box, of course, is our control box for who's in control of the market. Questions on the NASDAQ? What would help us differentiate if we've topped in B versus ending wave C of B back to 5,600 or so when we reach that 55,000? So the bounce, same on both. So if they go back up here, 3 waves down is bullish. If they get down here, right, 3 waves up is bearish, and then you expect them to come back down. So the bounce will always tell you, or the bounce or rejection will tell you what it is based on the structure. 3-wave structures mean that they're probably going to continue in the direction of the trend. In other words, if they come down into this area and you get a 3-wave structure back up, I would expect them to continue the trend down. If you get a 5-wave structure up, okay, then you're going to have to see what kind of pullback we get once we get back up here. So structure is always important for understanding the direction of the market. If the ES is in a diagonal going up for C, would this be completing a 1-2 of the C wave up? I don't think so. The reason is it's pretty big. So the 1-2 setup would point directly to all-time highs. And while that's certainly possible, it's not typically how the market is going to react. You don't typically blow through. This is a huge area on both charts, this 19.5 to 25 on the NQ and the 5600 to 5800 on the ES. Should provide at least a significant rejection. So they get back up into it. I would expect at least a 50 to 618% pullback if they're even going to go higher. Okay, if not, an all-out failure. So blowing through a resistance like this the first time, if they do it, would be exceptionally bullish. Guys, if you love the information that I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link and it'll take you right over to our website. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible monthly plans and they both come with a 7-day free trial. That's because I want you to get in there. I want you to make sure you love it and become part of the trading team before you ever spend a penny. You can cancel at any time. You literally have nothing to lose by checking us out. We also have our educational material. If you scroll down a little further on the page, you're going to see our indicators, which you saw in the first part of the video, and also our courses. We have our Trade Waves Academy course, and right now I am giving 50% off of this course if you get the yearly indicator. So if you buy the yearly indicator right now, you're getting 2 months for free on that, and then you get Trade Waves Academy 50% off. In Trade Waves Academy, we go over all of the things that are outside of Elliott Wave to put a complete package together. We go over market psychology, capital management. You can see all the modules here on the screen. Options trading basics, candlestick patterns, how to trade price action, bull and bear traps, how to identify market reversals, fib levels and why they're important, how to identify key support and resistance, and trade setups and proper risk reward. All of this comes inside of Trade Waves Academy. On top of that, you get our Elliott Wave for Beginners course included in this price, and you get the Advanced Elliott Wave for free included in this price. So for $497, you get all of those modules I just said, plus the Beginners course, plus Advanced Elliott Wave. It's an incredible deal, and you can get it for half off right now if you get the yearly indicator. Now, as I did mention, we do have our Advanced and our Beginners Elliott Wave courses. In our Advanced course, we're going through a lot of the things we're seeing on the charts right now. A lot of those things are the advanced fib levels, the diagonals, double and triple threes, flats, triangles, trading Elliott Wave, which right there, that is worth the price of admission. People don't understand that there's 2 paths and how do you trade them if there's up and down. It's because you trade setups, and there are very good setups in Elliott Wave Theory. You have to know how to spot them and trade them, and we talk about that here so that you can understand how to do this course. Now, I understand if this is too advanced. You can see, though, that our traders love it. But if you need to get started at the beginning, we have our Elliott Wave for Beginners online course. And this course is really helping traders understand a complex market in a way that makes sense. It's extremely confusing when good news makes the market go down, bad news makes the market go up. It stops at random places. You don't know what's going on. That's because the news cycles were garbage. Elliott knew this long ago. He knew that key levels mattered. It's not random, and it's you're able to find these key levels, and this is what gives you a huge advantage over the rest of the market. In this course, you get 25 videos where we go through your introduction. We have to introduce you to Elliott Wave Theory. We have to get your mindset right and give you the KISS method, how this works and why it works. It's very scientific based. People think it's just, oh, you just make a wave up. No, very scientific based. It's outstanding. Chart setup and tools. We go through all of your chart setups, every tool you need to use with Elliott Wave, how to use it and why we use it, and then the Elliott Wave for Beginners area where we go through each of the waves, how to find the key levels, how to understand impulsive and corrective waves, how to know where to get these measurements, the corrective depth theory, the theory of alternation, the pivot, everything you need to make sense of an irrational market. Now, the really cool thing about both of these courses is there's several ways to get them cheap or for free. You can get them both at a $37 discount with our Elliott Wave course bundle. You can get them for free in our Trade Waves Academy course. If you buy that, they are included in that course. Or if you just want to get them at a low monthly cost, you simply get one of our monthly rooms, as the Elliott Wave courses are included in this price. In our first room, the Invest with Jacob room, we give you all of your real-time market updates, all of your buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions are answered. The midday video that you watch in these calls, that's live for everybody in these rooms. And then you get the beginners and the advanced course included in this price. We trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing and day trade. So we do trade quite often in my room. Now, if you're looking for futures trading, individual stocks, income trading, and advanced trading, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as the individual stocks, the futures trading, his income trading method that just kills it, and his reduced risk binary method that gets you in at a cheap price, get you huge multiples on your money, and it's how he structures that trade that's so unique. That's why you get a 7-day free trial. He also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account trading mini ES futures, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we'd love to have you in these rooms so we can all make money together. Thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow with your next market update.